Hello, I'm SnipingIsFun, and in this video I'm going to be doing another video based on people who bash the Wii and Nintendo in general and hate on them. And if you've seen my videos in the past, I've done videos like this before, and so on and so forth. This should be technically my fourth one doing with it. And I was going to do something like this probably in the future anyways, but basically I wanted to do another one of the videos like this because of two people I've seen on YouTube videos. One specifically, one person didn't get on. I enjoyed his videos. The other person annoyed me and I didn't really agree with him at all. Those two people are the Black Baron and reddeath2010. The Black Baron has some good videos, and he at least is someone out there that supports Nintendo, enjoys them, defends their games and defends them, so on and so forth. He makes some pretty good movies. reddeath2010, however, is kind of annoys me. I do agree with your opinion on the WWE and everything, and how TNA is pretty good, although they're like Hulk Hogan and all that's kind of meh. But WWE's just really starting to suck now. There's some things in there that are still enjoyable to watch, but they're far and few between. Let me start off with this video. Basically, this isn't a video only against you. Basically, it's against everybody that hates Nintendo and hates the Wii in general. Basically, your video made me want to do it, and I'll be referencing your stuff in this video, but it's mainly towards everybody. And basically, you said this doesn't include only your stuff in there, but basically just includes what everybody says about it. Basically, they say that Nintendo and the Wii and Nintendo in general are kiddie. There's no good games they make. They have no mature games. There's no good third-party support. Has bad online. Nintendo games suck. There's no AAA games. They're lazy. They're only for the casual. There's only mini-game collections, exercise games, ports, and everything. And one thing I really only heard from reddeath2010 that's specifically only really his is that motion controls suck and that they're a disease that are going to the PS3 and 360, and that he doesn't like that move in the tail they're going over there. Basically that. There's many reasons why those opinions really do kind of suck. And basically the fact that reddeath2010, and not just saying you, but overall a lot of people that bash the Wii over YouTube and the internet and whatnot, don't really give good reasons. They'll always say, oh, the graphics suck, the games suck, there's no good online, the system is horrible, the PS3 and their 360 are ways to go, Nintendo doesn't support the hardcore, they're only casual. Yeah, whatever. Basically, it started with the whole online thing, balancing. Yeah, online's not the best. And with the whole friend codes thing and whatever. But basically, these two games are kind of fighting that. Normally, you can't just send friend requests to random people. These two games you can. Yeah, there's still codes in there, but they're not exactly friend codes. Well, there's still codes in there, but you could get people, and maybe hopefully from now on they'll get better. The whole, it's kiddie, there's no mature games. By kiddie, I don't think it just means this mature games, though. There's mature games definitely on the Wii. And by kiddie, I think it just means, you say, oh, all the games are kids can pick up. A game like this is E+10, E10+. Fire Emblem. This is not necessarily a game for a kid. I'm not saying kids can't pick this up. I'm not trying to generalize kids out there. There's probably kids, but little kids can't do it because of the whole strategy thing. And something like Monster Hunter, little kids won't be able to pick up because of the whole strategy aspect of the game. The fact that there's no good third-party support. Monster Hunter is one of them. Red Steel 2 is another. House Nuka vs. Capcom is one. The No More Hero series is one. But really, to continue on with the topic, though, to say let's see how that looks here. Okay. But like I said, mature games When I can say kiddie games, kiddie games don't necessarily mean that they're just not mature. You can't put a teen game into a kiddie category. Just like, but doesn't mean that M games necessarily are out of kiddie categories though. So this doesn't necessarily mean, like, the Wii definitely does have mature games, and these games are good. Although these aren't mature. I'm sorry. Oops, wrong game. Wrong games there. These two games. Can't believe I put those in. These games are good, alongside like the House of the Dead series 2 and 3, Overkill, Dead Space Extraction, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, among others. There's mature games on there, and most of them are good. Not saying all of them, but most of them are good. Kiddie games. The only kiddie games on the system would necessarily be the shovelware minigame, horrible minigame collections. Not something like Wii Sports Resort. This is a good minigame collection. Stuff like the carnival games or stuff like that. The cash-in games to movies most of the time. The games like pets and cats and rats and all that stuff, those would be the kiddie games, and those are just the shovelware on the system, and they don't have anything against games like this or that or that. No good games. Most of the games I showed you were good. No More Heroes series, Mad World, Resident Evil 4, Castlevania vs. Capcom, Monster Hunter Tri, Fire Emblem, Mario Galaxy, Legend of Zelda, Klonoa, the Metroid Prime trilogy, and just Metroid Prime 3 together. Even though I've never played really those games much, I'm trying to get into the Metroid series based on what people have said on those though. Smash Brothers, maybe the Trauma Center games, Call of Duty, The Conduit, etc., etc., etc. There's good games on the system. No good third-party support. Yes, most third parties don't care about this, but it's not the Wii's fault, and it's not Nintendo's fault. It's the third party's fault, and even one thing people say is that Nintendo are lazy. If anything, the third parties are lazy. There's a lot of people on there that say that, and I agree with them. Third parties are lazy. If they were not lazy, they'd be giving good games out every couple months. We'd be seeing all those games on the Wii, but not because of multiple reasons, but mainly because they're lazy, and for some reason they don't like the Wii. But it's not Nintendo's fault, it's not the Wii's fault, it's a third party's fault. They're the ones that are lazy, because Nintendo has brought out a lot of games since the Wii generation came out. They brought out Metroid Prime 3, the trilogy. They brought out Mario Galaxy 2, New Super Mario Brothers Wii. They brought out Punch-Out, Mario Kart, and all these other games. And even on the DS, they're working on a DS, and they're making sure games get out on the Virtual Console, although the Virtual Console hasn't been that good lately, because their last 2 weeks they haven't brought out a Virtual Console game, and only every now and then there's a good game on that. That's I don't know about that one though. And Ban Online, I already said that, the friend code thing, but it's not the worst online ever made in the game, and they're getting out of that with these games like this. As long as most developers do stuff like that. Nintendo games suck. Let me just say this. Me personally, I enjoy a lot of Nintendo franchises. I don't mind playing the F-Zeros, and the Star Foxes, and the Zeldas, and the Marios, and the Kirby's, and the Donkey Kongs, and the Advance Wars, and the Fire Emblems, and the Wave Races, and the 1080 snowboardings, and stuff like that. Although, not 1080 snowboarding, really. Not saying the game sucks. I never really played or got into the 1080 snowboarding series. But there's a lot of people that have. And there's a lot of people that would really play a game on the Wii, and I would play all those other games on the Wii as well. No AAA games, I'm not going anywhere near that, because there's good games on the system regardless. I don't care what you guys mean by AAA, because there's a lot of terms like, oh, it's the budget, it's how hardcore the game is, It's all these other reasons. I'm not going anywhere today because the Wii does have good games. It fits in the whole, like, they have good games on it. They're not lazy, and there's not only casual games, because that's not casual. The Fire Emblem series is not casual. Monster Hunter is not casual. And I'm not saying the Wii, and this is talking about the Wii in general, not only the Wii itself, not Nintendo. But Nintendo tries to find a gap between the casuals and the core gamers. They try and make games for everybody. They want to make sure everybody plays their games. And all that. And like